Just weeks after the shocking death of conservative firebrand Charlie Kirk, the world expected silence from his widow, Erika Kirk. But instead of hiding in heartbreak, Erika was smiling in designer gowns, laughing on national interviews, and exchanging very intimate hugs with married political figures. One clip in particular has the internet absolutely losing its mind. A moment so bold, so uncomfortable, it even made Donald Trump look stunned on camera. This isn't speculation. This is footage. Real, unfiltered, viral. The internet doesn't know what to make of it. Is Erika mourning? Is she manipulating public sympathy? Or is this the performance of a lifetime? From her now infamous birthday post, to an eyebrow-raising interview with Megyn Kelly, to a lingering embrace with J.D. Vance that sent body language experts scrambling, nothing about this grief looks normal. What you're about to see in this video isn't just suspicious, it's possibly the beginning of a political power shift. Buckle up, because once you see what's been caught on camera, you'll never look at Erika Kirk the same way again. Before Erika Kirk was a widow, she was a headline, not just as a conservative darling, but as a woman whose path seemed almost eerily scripted. Born Erika Lane, she wasn't always in pearls and podiums. Her early life was marked by contradictions. Raised in Arizona with a competitive streak on the basketball court, she was known more for sneakers than stilettos. She once said in an interview, "I didn't even like wearing dresses." And yet somehow, by 2012, she became Miss Arizona USA, competing on a stage Donald Trump himself owned. That shift from tomboy to tiara wasn't just unexpected, it was calculated, groomed, some would whisper later. And maybe, just maybe, it was the first move in a much bigger game. Her rise was swift, but her presence always felt like she knew something the rest of us didn't. Then came Charlie Kirk, the brash, young, hyper-focused conservative leader. Their union raised eyebrows from the beginning. She was 5 years his senior, a rare reversal in the patriarchal world they preached. But they made it work, or at least they made it look like it worked. The couple's image became a cornerstone of Turning Point USA. Pure, polished, powerful. Together, they championed Christian values, traditional family roles, and a lifestyle built around influence and God. But if you looked closely, the cracks were always there. Erika rarely appeared in Charlie's more controversial stunts. She kept the kids out of the public eye, and insiders often said she had ambitions that stretched beyond her husband's spotlight. Their marriage wasn't just love, it was politics, business, a conservative brand built on family, faith, and discipline. But even as the speeches flowed and the followers grew, there were whispers in the hallways, rumors of internal disagreements, her need for more visibility, his desire to keep her in the background. And then came the trip to Israel, a story Erika herself would later tell as a divine coincidence. A moment when they were supposedly in the same line, at the same airport, on the same day, before they even knew each other. She didn't approach him, but later they figured it out. Fate, she said. But to many, it sounded rehearsed, like something designed to sound magical, but too convenient to be real. Then came the pregnancy plans. Multiple interviews revealed that Charlie and Erika were actively trying for more children, wanting 4 in total. She even admitted she prayed to be pregnant when he was killed. These aren't just private details. These are details shared with cameras, scripted into emotional moments. It's as if each part of their relationship is being repackaged now for public consumption. And this is where people begin to feel uneasy. Because when Charlie Kirk was shot dead in September 2025 during a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University, the conservative world froze. Tributes poured in. Flags were flown at half-mast in some communities. Donald Trump called it a loss for America. Most people assumed Erika would disappear from public view, but she didn't. Instead, she stepped up, not just in grief, but in power. Within weeks, Erika took over Turning Point USA. She slid into the CEO seat almost seamlessly, and it wasn't just business as usual, it was business better. She rebranded herself, still the grieving widow, but also the polished executive, the polished speaker, the polished political presence. And the world watched, confused, because behind the tears and speeches, there was something off, something almost too smooth. People started going back to old footage, noticing her ability to turn on emotion and turn it off just as fast. In interviews, she could go from crying to joking in seconds. Some began comparing her to politicians, people who knew how to control grief, to package pain into digestible content. And suddenly, the narrative started to shift. Was this widow really mourning? Or was she seizing a moment? Add to that the resurfaced videos of Erika at events, smiling at donors, laughing during emotional interviews, hugging high-profile men in ways that didn't look entirely professional. And the questions got louder. Viewers began analyzing every body movement, every pause, every tear. Was this grief, they asked, or was it performance? And perhaps the most disturbing layer of all is how seamlessly the conservative machine embraced her. Instead of stepping back, they pushed her forward. They gave her a platform bigger than ever before. Was it out of sympathy? Or was it a strategic replacement for Charlie's influence? Some are even calling her the Marilyn Monroe of MAGA, charismatic, controversial, and always one whispered secret away from a scandal. Whatever the truth is, Erika's journey from pageant queen to power player didn't start when her husband died. It started long before that. And now, with her every move dissected and her intentions under a microscope, the emotional history of this woman is no longer private. It's public, politicized, and possibly weaponized. Because in a world where grief is currency, how do you tell the difference between pain and power play? The true mystery behind Erika Kirk's transformation didn't begin with a viral hug or a tearless interview. It started when the very foundation of Charlie Kirk's empire began shifting, almost too perfectly, into her hands. And with every polished appearance, every cryptic quote, and every suspiciously timed post, one undeniable truth emerged. This wasn't just a widow stepping up to honor her husband. This was a full-blown succession, and possibly something far darker. The first major sign of conflict came not from Erika's words, but from her silence. After Charlie's death, the conservative ecosystem expected unity, reverence, and grief. Instead, it got calculated leadership. Her first public statement didn't tremble with sorrow. It bristled with control. She praised Charlie's legacy, yes, but then pivoted to her own vision for the future of Turning Point USA. That pivot was subtle, but it was strategic. While the base cried, Erika planned, and that planning involved power. Within 2 weeks, Turning Point's internal structure was being reshaped. Sources close to the organization claimed that Charlie had never put Erika in line for leadership. In fact, several senior staffers were stunned when she was named CEO. One anonymous insider even told an independent journalist, "We thought Charlie's right-hand guy would take over. We had no idea she'd move in so fast." And yet, the board approved it. No delays, no interim, just Erika, seated, sworn in, and already giving orders. It was almost as if she'd been preparing for this moment all along. But the real conflict exploded with the release of internal memos, leaked anonymously, showing Erika had proposed restructuring months before Charlie's death. The memos outlined a more centralized leadership style, more media appearances for herself, and even a new branding campaign that emphasized Erika's voice. Yes, before the tragedy. Critics online quickly latched on to this, asking, how long has she been planning this? Supporters dismissed it as coincidence, but others weren't buying it. Because when grief and ambition collide, one of them usually gets buried. That's when the footage started to spread. The first piece to go viral was the J.D. Vance hug. We already covered how her hands went to the back of his head. Intimate, familiar, almost romantic. But what made that clip even more damning was what happened afterward. A hot mic captured JD telling her, "We've got to be careful," just before she stepped off stage. Careful about what? The optics, the rumors, or something much bigger? A second clip emerged days later. This time, Erika is at a Turning Point fundraising gala in Dallas. She's seated at a private table with 3 major donors, laughing. The camera pans by and catches a fragment of her conversation. He never saw it coming. The internet exploded. Who was she talking about? Was it Charlie, the shooter, the media? Context was missing, but the damage was done. Theories multiplied overnight. One TikTok user stitched both clips together with side-by-side analysis. "This isn't grief," she said. "This is the face of someone who won." And while many criticized the video as cruel or speculative, it went mega viral. 10 million views in 2 days. Hashtags like "No Erika Kirk planned it" and "Charlie didn't know" started trending on X, formerly Twitter. Even conspiracy podcasts picked it up, drawing eerie parallels to other high-profile political widows who suddenly rose to power. But here's where everything took a sinister turn. A whistleblower came forward, an intern who claimed to have worked with Charlie's private communications team just 2 months before his death. In a now-deleted Reddit post, the whistleblower alleged that Charlie had grown paranoid in the last few weeks. He thought someone inside the organization was leaking his travel plans. The post read, "He kept changing hotels last minute. He said, 'They're watching me, even people close to me.'" Who was watching him? Why did he feel unsafe? And more importantly, who was he talking about when he said, "people close to me"? The whistleblower didn't name Erika directly, but they did mention an argument that reportedly happened behind closed doors between Charlie and Erika just 3 days before the Utah event where he was shot. According to the post, Charlie had discovered that someone had rewritten parts of his speech without his approval, adding biblical quotes and family metaphors he didn't intend to use. He was furious. That night, he allegedly told a colleague, "This is not my message anymore. It's becoming hers." And then, the unthinkable happened. September 10th, the day of the Utah shooting. Tyler Robinson, a previously unknown 20-year-old with a clean record, walked into the university with a concealed handgun and fired 3 times. Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead at the scene. The shooter was arrested without resistance. His motive? Still unknown. He said nothing during the arrest. No manifesto. No social media warning signs. Nothing. Just silence. But Erika? She had a speech ready that same night. Hours after the shooting, she was on stage at a vigil, reading from a prepared statement that sounded less like raw emotion and more like a launch. "He lived with purpose, and now I carry that purpose forward," she said, not even 12 hours after losing her husband. The crowd wept, but skeptics recoiled. It felt too soon, too smooth, too perfectly timed. And here's the twist that shook everyone. A private investigator, hired by a group of concerned donors, uncovered that Erika had applied for emergency executive access to Turning Point USA's financial accounts 2 days before Charlie died. The documentation was time-stamped, dated, verified. When confronted with this in an off-the-record conversation, Erika's spokesperson said it was standard protocol during times of instability. But that didn't make sense. Charlie was alive. There was no instability, unless she knew something was coming. This was the moment when the conflict became undeniable. Erika wasn't just suspicious, she was possibly implicated. By this point, Turning Point staff were divided. Some fiercely defended Erika, saying she was simply strong, driven, and unfairly targeted by misogynistic narratives. Others began quietly leaving the organization, uncomfortable with what they called a cult of personality, replacing Charlie's mission. One former event planner posted anonymously, "It's not Turning Point anymore. It's Erika's stage now. Every event is about her." And so, the stage was set. The widow had become the queen. The queen had rewritten the story. And the world, especially the conservative world, was now split between those who admired her strength and those who questioned her every move. The final moment of this chapter? A leaked voicemail. In it, Charlie's voice is shaky, tired. He says, "If anything happens to me, check the people closest. That's all I'll say." Then it cuts off. No timestamp, no follow-up. Just one haunting sentence that now plays over and over again in online documentaries, in Reddit threads, in whispered conversations across the political world. Was Erika Kirk simply a woman rising through tragedy? Or was she always writing a new chapter for herself, one where Charlie was never meant to survive it? The temperature around Erika Kirk wasn't just rising, it was reaching a boiling point. The internet, once split between sympathy and suspicion, began leaning dangerously toward one side. And Erika, instead of calming the storm, she fanned the flames. The footage kept coming. The whispers grew louder. But what no one expected was a fabricated message, a rival's return, and a chilling prophecy that flipped everything upside down. It all started with a mysterious email blast sent to Turning Point USA donors. The subject line, "Charlie's last words." The body of the message was brief, supposedly a transcribed paragraph of Charlie's final journal entry before his death. It spoke of legacy, of trusting those closest to him, and of leaving the mission in her hands. The her being Erika. The email ended with a quote, "She was always meant to lead." At first, the base erupted in applause. Screenshots flooded social media with captions like, "He chose her." Erika reposted the message on her Instagram story. But then, the twist came. Within 48 hours, a Turning Point USA IT employee exposed the email as a fabrication. Not only was it never found in Charlie's original files, but metadata showed it was created 3 weeks after his death, on Erika's assistant's laptop. The fallout was immediate. TPUSA's internal communications team went into lockdown. Staffers were told to refrain from commenting, but the damage was done. If Erika didn't write that email herself, then someone very close to her did. And the implication was clear. The myth of Charlie's blessing was being written after the fact. Manufactured, sold, packaged grief for political gain. But this wasn't even the worst part, because just as the TPUSA team scrambled to recover, an old rival re-entered the picture. Meet Emily Grace West, a former Turning Point media director who'd been ousted 2 years ago after a falling out with Erika. Back then, Emily was considered a rising star in the conservative movement, sharp, passionate, and unfiltered. But rumors of infighting with Erika circulated. Some said it was jealousy. Others said Emily had threatened to expose what really goes on behind the scenes. Either way, she disappeared, until now. Emily returned with a vengeance, dropping a YouTube video titled, "What They Don't Want You to Know About Erika Kirk." In less than 10 hours, it racked up 3.2 million views. In the video, Emily painted Erika as a master manipulator. She claimed Erika had been grooming her public image long before Charlie's death, had staged photo shoots to appear wifely and devoted, and had been eyeing the top position at TPUSA for years. But the bombshell? Emily played a recorded phone call between her and another ex-staffer, dated 6 months before Charlie died, where the staffer claimed she doesn't want to be behind him anymore. She wants to be in front of the camera. Charlie's holding her back. The clip spread like wildfire. Conservative influencers who once promoted Erika started pulling their support. Hashtags like Erika Exposed began trending, and perhaps most damning of all, J.D. Vance went silent. No tweets, no public appearances, no reposts, nothing. The man who was once seen as Erika's strongest political ally had suddenly gone cold. But then, just as the backlash seemed to be reaching critical mass, a chilling new detail emerged that changed the entire trajectory of the story. It came from an anonymous source claiming to be a former private security consultant for the Kirk family. The source provided a set of notes from an encrypted app Charlie allegedly used to track threats to his life. The notes were dated just days before his murder, and one entry stood out. Suspicion, internal breach, financial irregularities tied to upcoming Utah event. Erika dismissive, said I was overreacting, something's off. This revelation set off alarm bells across social media. Why would Charlie suspect financial tampering linked to the event where he was killed? And why would Erika downplay it? Was she protecting someone or herself? Internet sleuths did what they do best. They dug deeper, and in a wild twist, they found that the event venue in Utah had processed a series of mysterious charges for VIP media handling just days before the shooting, charges that were retroactively approved by Erika. None of this had been mentioned in public records until now. And then came the prophecy. A resurfaced video clip of Charlie, filmed just a month before his death, went viral for the wrong reasons. In it, during a campus Q&A, a student asked him what he feared most. Charlie laughed and said, "If I go out early, it won't be from a bullet. It'll be betrayal, always the people closest." The crowd had laughed. Now, no one was laughing. Because when you combine that quote with the fake email, the whistleblower voicemail, the suspicious financial records, the lingering hugs, and the strategic PR moves, something undeniable begins to take shape. A story of someone who didn't just grieve, but took control. And yet, right as the narrative seemed to tip permanently against Erika, a final mind-bending twist flipped everything once more. A cryptic message posted on X from a now-deleted account claiming to be the real Charlie sent shockwaves through the internet. The post included an audio snippet of what sounded like Charlie Kirk's voice saying, "They'll try to rewrite the story. Don't let them. If you see this, I'm already gone." The clip was only 12 seconds long. Experts are still debating whether it's AI-generated or real. But the eerie accuracy of the voice, the background noise that matched Charlie's podcast studio, and the timing of the post sent conspiracy theorists into overdrive. Was it a warning, a planted seed, a distraction? Suddenly, Erika's team denied everything. They called the clip a sick hoax, but it was too late. The idea was out there. Maybe Charlie knew more than he let on. Maybe Erika had help. Maybe this isn't over. The moment the audio clip surfaced, the internet shattered. Not because people were shocked by the content. By now, they'd heard wilder things. But because this clip, allegedly from Charlie Kirk himself, sounded too real. Suddenly, all bets were off. The digital dam had broken, and with it came a tidal wave of speculation, betrayal, and emotional collapse that engulfed everyone in Erika Kirk's orbit. The kingdom shakes. Turning Point's inner circle cracks. Inside the glossy walls of Turning Point USA, everything was chaos. Once fiercely loyal staffers began to splinter into factions. One side claimed Erika was just a grieving widow targeted by conspiracy theories and bitter ex-employees. The other, increasingly vocal, whispered that she was orchestrating something far more calculated. Emails were leaked. Slack messages between junior staffers expressing discomfort were suddenly published in online forums. One message read, "Why is she always smiling?" It's like Charlie's death gave her a glow-up. The sentiment was brutal, but it echoed what many were already thinking. Erika's rapid ascent to CEO, the birthday parties, the viral hugs. It no longer just looked tone-deaf. It looked intentional. Then came the scrolls. The Widow Protocol, secret documents leak online. Anonymous sources leaked an internal Turning Point document titled Emergency Transition Memo, Operation Legacy. Though Erika denied its existence, the 11-page PDF outlined procedures for leadership transfer in the event of Charlie's sudden death. It included PR tactics, influencer coordination, and even suggested emotional tone-setting posts for social media. One section read, "Ensure dignity of grief is presented without paralysis. Media opportunities should reinforce strength over sorrow." People were horrified. The coldness of the language, the eerie preparation, the timing. The document was allegedly updated 2 months before Charlie's assassination. It didn't help that Erika's signature was found in the metadata. The tavern gossip, social media turns, savage on TikTok and YouTube. Creators had a field day. Entire channels sprung up dedicated to analyzing Erika's interviews, photos, and body language. Some questioned her makeup choices. Others slowed down clips of her speeches, highlighting moments where she appeared to smirk or glance too long at J.D. Vance. At a political fundraiser, someone even printed T-shirts that read, "Mourn first, monetize later." Instagram gossip pages reposted DMs allegedly from former pageant rivals of Erika, claiming she was always ambitious, not empathetic. Even a high school friend commented under one of her posts, "You were always good at acting sad. Nothing new." Worse still, an old video resurfaced of Erika from 2012, days after winning Miss Arizona USA. In it, she said, "If I ever marry a man with a platform, I won't be in the background. I'll be on stage too." That quote now played on repeat beneath every conspiracy thread on Reddit. Scrolls sent in secret. The political fallout begins behind the scenes. Conservative leaders started sending private messages. Emails were forwarded. Calls made in hushed tones. Several Republican donors reached out to Turning Point board members, asking why Erika had been granted full control so quickly. Senator Josh Hawley reportedly canceled an appearance at a TPUSA event citing logistical concerns, but insiders say it was Erika he was avoiding. Fox News hosts who once welcomed her with open arms began soft distancing. They still invited her on, but always with a disclaimer like, "We know there's been a lot of speculation out there." And in Washington, rumors swirled that certain members of Congress were advising J.D. Vance to cool it with the public proximity. No more viral hugs, no more shared stages. Whatever this was, it wasn't helping his potential 2028 presidential campaign. The candlelight confrontation, rash talk in the shadows. One of the most shocking developments came not from public footage, but from a leaked transcript of a private dinner between Erika and TPUSA's former executive chair, Thomas Renner. The meeting, held at a luxury hotel in D.C., was meant to be a check-in, but according to the source who leaked the conversation, Renner confronted Erika. "You've lost control of the narrative, Erika. People think you planned this. You need to step back." To which Erika allegedly responded, "I didn't kill my husband, Thomas, but I won't apologize for being prepared." The quote lit the internet ablaze. The boldness, the calculation. Was she admitting foresight or just defending herself? No one knew for sure, but everyone was talking. Family torn apart. Even Charlie's sister speaks out. And then came the dagger. Charlie's sister, Laura Kirk, broke her silence. In a tearful Instagram live, Laura spoke softly but clearly. I loved my brother. I still love Erika, but something's wrong. None of this feels right. The way it's being handled, the posts, the interviews. I've been silent, but I can't pretend I'm not confused. That was all she said. But it was enough. A flood of messages came pouring in from people who finally felt validated. If Charlie's own family was suspicious, then what did that say? Romance collapsing, alliances splintering. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance was noticeably absent from Erika's next 3 events. One commentator on X wrote, "Looks like the hug train ran out of steam." And inside Erika's own camp, staffers began quitting quietly. 2 of her assistants removed TPUSA from their LinkedIn profiles. A makeup artist posted and quickly deleted a cryptic message. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're innocent. The sentiment was growing. Erika's empire, built quickly and boldly, was now cracking from all sides. And the haunting question echoed in every hallway, every DM, every podcast. The whispers had turned into roars. The internet was no longer just speculating, it was investigating. Threads that started as casual TikToks had grown into deep Reddit investigations, with timelines, metadata extractions, and even alleged connections to foreign funding. But none of that compared to what happened next, because just when the dust seemed ready to settle, someone dropped the ultimate bombshell, a leaked video dated 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk's death. In this never-before-seen footage, Erika Kirk is sitting in a dimly lit room, smiling. Not the warm pageant smile she shows in interviews, but a sly, knowing grin. She's speaking to someone off camera. Her tone is calm, her words slow and deliberate. He's stubborn, you know that. But sometimes stubborn men get in their own way. The voice behind the camera asks, "And what do you plan to do?" Erika looks directly into the lens, shrugs and says, "I'll survive, I always do." The internet goes feral. Within minutes of the video's leak, Erika Kirk Exposed is trending across all platforms. Theories explode. Was this just a moment of sarcasm? A twisted inside joke? Or was it something far darker? Twitter sleuths dig in, locating the video's origin. According to metadata, it was shot at a Turning Point retreat in Colorado, only days before Charlie was scheduled to speak at Utah Valley. Erika had been there. So had several high-level TPUSA board members. And the timing? Impeccable. A former employee speaks out hours after the footage goes viral. An ex-TPUSA employee, Taylor S., posts a thread. This was always bigger than Charlie. We weren't building a movement. We were building an empire. Erika didn't marry Charlie. She picked him. And when the throne opened up, she didn't blink. I watched it happen. Everyone did. She attaches an image of Erika at a TPUSA event from 2023, standing beside a poster that reads, "Legacy isn't inherited, it's seized." The quote is now being memed relentlessly. Donald Trump's response? Deafening. But perhaps the most unsettling twist comes not from Erika or her critics, but from Donald Trump himself. A Fox News panel discusses the video leak live. The host, trying to pivot to safer ground, says, "Well, former President Trump had this to say privately according to one source." They cut to audio, allegedly leaked from a closed-door Mar-a-Lago conversation. She's smarter than people think, and she knew exactly what she was doing. Charlie was a good kid, but he wasn't the show. Boom. Suddenly, everyone is asking, Did Trump know? Was Erika always being groomed for leadership? Had she and Charlie been a political power play from the start? Charlie's old notebook surfaces. But the final twist doesn't come from a camera. It comes from ink. An anonymous source claiming to be a family friend uploads scans of Charlie Kirk's private notebook, dated August 2025, just weeks before his death. One entry is circled, starred, and underlined 3 times. "She's not the woman I married. There are things I've learned I can't unsee. If anything happens to me, check the Foundation's account." Suddenly, a theory that had felt too wild now feels terrifyingly real. Was Charlie trying to warn someone? Was Erika already planning something? Did he know his time was short? And then, Erika posts again. As the internet burns with theories, Erika posts another photo to Instagram. It's her and her 2 children, smiling in a sunlit field. The caption is just one line. "Some storms you don't run from, you stand in them." The comments explode. Some offer sympathy, others scream guilt. But one anonymous comment, buried deep, catches everyone's attention. "You're right, storm's coming, but you forgot Charlie left behind thunder." Now that you've seen the footage, heard the words, and followed the trail of coincidences, we have to ask, was this just grief handled differently? Or was it something much more calculated? Erika Kirk's transformation from mourning widow to political powerhouse has happened in record time. But is she rising from tragedy or building power on top of it? The internet is divided, and we want to hear from you. Do you believe Erika's behavior is genuine? Is it strength? Is it survival? Or has she carefully crafted a persona, one that's charismatic on stage, but cold behind the curtain? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that hug with JD Vance was innocent or something more? Was Charlie Kirk's notebook a warning or just coincidence? Would you forgive someone who moved on this fast? And most importantly, do you believe Erika Kirk is hiding something? This is just the beginning. More footage is surfacing. More people are speaking out. And the next leak? It might change everything. So make sure you're ready for it. Like this video if you think the truth always finds a way out. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the next chapter is already unfolding. And trust me, you won't want to miss what we uncover next. The masks are slipping, the cameras are rolling, and the internet is watching. We'll see you in the next one. And remember, not everything that shines is holy.